Hi, I'm Darryn Farrugia and welcome. So in today's video I'm going to be talking about layered hand patterns and layered grooves. And again, this is content that comes from my first book, Groove Perspectives. Now I have two books, Groove Perspectives and the Groove Perspectives Play Along. So if you're interested in checking those two books out, I'll leave a link in the description below. So what are layered hand patterns? Layered hand patterns are basically hand patterns where we have a layering of notes so that, there'll be unisons between both hands at various points within the bar. So let's go back and just talk about what we're used to, which is sort of conventional hand patterns. They could be paradiddles, double stroke rolls, or any other sticking pattern. We would just generally refer to those as a hand pattern or a sticking pattern. So what I'm going to do is show you how to create a layered hand pattern. And in order to do this, I'm going to teach you a fairly simple 2-beat hand pattern. So let's look at this. The first beat of this hand pattern that I'm going to give you to start with is going to be the sticking from an inward paradiddle. So in this case, it's just going to be right, left, left, right. So that's beat 1. And then beat 2 is going to be a single paradiddle. So left, right, left, left. So the sticking for this 2-beat hand pattern is right, left, left, right, left, right, left, left. Okay, so I'm going to play that on the snare drum. I'm going to put an accent on each downbeat. 1, 2, 1, 2. There's your hand pattern. Doesn't sound particularly exciting. It just sounds like 16th notes with an accent on each downbeat. So what I'll do now is take that hand pattern, I'll move the right hand to the hi-hat, and I'll keep the left hand on the snare drum. And what I'll do is I'll play the accent on the snare drum as a rim shot. The accent on the hi-hat I'll play using the shoulder of the stick on the edge of the hi-hat. So just a refresher, the sticking pattern is right, left, left, right, left, right, left, left. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now that in itself can make, a groove that sounds pretty good. So in this case, I'll put the bass drum on beat 1, and I might add a few accents to some of those right hand strokes. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2. Here's the same thing a little faster. 1, 2, 1, 2. So that's a groove based on a sticking pattern or a hand pattern. So what I'm going to do is create a layered hand pattern by retaining that left hand pattern, and then we'll do some stuff with the right hand over the top. So the left hand pattern is this. 1, 2, 1, 2. So to create a layered hand pattern, I can do this really simply by now keeping that left hand pattern, but playing 8th notes with my right hand on the hi-hat. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, before I continue any further, I should say that the term layered hand pattern, I've heard David Garibaldi use this term, so that's where this term has come from. So layered hand patterns, David Garibaldi. If you haven't checked out any David Garibaldi stuff, I urge you to do so because it's so great. He's an incredible composer of grooves, an inventor of grooves, and he sounds he sounds funky as all hell. So yeah, check out David Garibaldi. So now we've added eighth notes to the hi-hat, we can change that hi-hat pattern to, say, broken 16th notes. So in this case, I'm going to play an 8th and 2 16ths, this pattern, 1, 2, 1, 2. So let's add that on top of the left hand pattern. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2. And then once we feel comfortable with that, then we can start messing around with the hi-hat patterns even more. Here's one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's another one. 2, 3, 4. Here's another one where I play all the offbeat 16th notes. 1, 2, 1, 2. So these are some of the 2/4 examples that exist in my book, Groove Perspectives. Now, an important thing to think about here is that the dynamics play a key part in making this work. Example, the ghost strokes I'm keeping real low. So I'm trying to keep the ghost strokes at about 4 or 5 centimeters or close to 2 inches if you live in an imperial situation. And I am trying to be as dynamic on the hi-hat as I am on the snare drum. So the accents on the hi-hat are played with the shoulder of the stick on the edge of the hi-hat. And I'm using the tip of the stick to play the non-accented notes on top of the hi-hat. So focus on your dynamics. The only way these grooves will work and sound good is if there is a good dynamic range between accent and non-accent. So with that in mind, I'm going to keep the left-hand part, and I'm going to play a cascara rhythm on the right hand. So in this case, this rhythm, which is an Afro-Cuban rhythm, sounds like this. I'm just going to play it on the hi-hat. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's add the snare drum to that. And again, I'm just going to keep the kick on 1 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can move our right hand to another surface. So in this case, I could take the right hand and play that on the ride cymbal. 1, 2, 3, 4. With the ride cymbal, you can play the accents just as I did, all of it on the bow of the ride cymbal, or you might want to play the accents on the bell of the ride cymbal, or you might want to play all of the notes on the bell of the ride cymbal. So experiment with the different sound colors and choices that you can get from your ride cymbal. Now, the other thing that we can do while we're playing this pattern, or any of these patterns, is we can take the left-hand part and play the accents on the snare drum, but play all the non-accented notes on the hi-hat. So for example, using the cascara rhythm on the ride cymbal, my left hand is going to be doing this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Here's the same thing, a little brighter. 1, 2, 1, 2. So So what I'll do now is play the same pattern, but I'm going to play quarter notes on my left foot, and we should get a nice open hi-hat sound at the end of each 2 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. This particular version of this groove sounds great with the right hand playing a cowbell. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there you have it. There's an introduction to layered hand patterns and how to construct layered hand patterns. There are, more options than this, of course, so you just use your imagination. And again, these grooves come from, I think it's page 53 and 54 of Groove Perspectives, which is my first book. So if you're interested in checking that out, like I said, I'll leave a link to that in the description below. Anyway, I hope this is something that you can use and explore in your own drumming. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe and remember to hit that notification bell so that you know when I've uploaded a video, which is every week. So until next week, have a great week, have fun, and I'll see you all soon. Bye. Still not happy with that? I'll do that again. That was terrible. Come on, baby. Let's not worry about that. Good evening, friends.